Presenting or presentation. Have you heard someone speak so eloquently and you thought to yourself, I wish I could speak like that? If this describes you, this video is for you. Stick to the end and find out how to move from being scared to present to loving presenting. Many people have issues with presenting or presentation. Yes, I used to have problems with presenting myself. I am an introverted person by nature and have always been shy since childhood. I remember when I wrote a book in primary school and was supposed to pitch the idea of the book to my literature teacher, Mr. Jukogi. He was a very intelligent author and had written a couple of books at the time. I held him in high esteem. I saw him as a role model. That fateful day he took me by hand to the library, and he was so proud that his student had written a book. He had not even read it and he was already boasting to his colleague about me. I got nervous. He sat on his chair behind a desk in the library. I was standing in front of him. His colleagues were paying attention to hear my pitch. As I stood before him, he looked into my eyes and said, "Yes, Fidelis, let's hear what your book is all about." With my eyes fixed to my shoes, I began to sob. I couldn't bear the attention. I ran out of the library in tears. I hardly remember what happened afterwards, but that experience left a sour taste in my mouth, or would I say my self-esteem. I come across a lot of people these days and they say I wish I could speak like such and such a person, then I would be rich. The truth is the best speakers are not born good speakers. This might seem nonsensical, but it is so. There is no beautiful way to say this. Just have what to say and let your motivating factor be big enough, the how will find you. Imagine you are approaching your house coming back from work and you see your only child trapped in a burning house on the second floor. If you don't get to the child in 5 minutes, the unthinkable might happen. The only way to reach your child is by climbing a ladder. The only ladder in the community is in the town hall where there is a meeting going on. You know the ladder is in the town hall, but you are not sure of the exact location. Your only option is to publicly ask all the people in the meeting where the ladder is. How easy will it be to disrupt this meeting and ask for the location of the ladder? Pretty easy, right? Suddenly public speaking isn't that difficult anymore. Did you know Moses was slow at speech? Let's take some examples of public speakers from the Bible. Joseph, Moses, and Joshua. Even though Joseph had a dream that he would one day lead his father's house, he was sold into slavery by his brothers. While serving in Potiphar's house, he was diligent because he believed in his dream. He was lied on and thrown in prison. In prison, we see him still sharpening his skills of dreams and their meaning. When the day came for him to present before Pharaoh, he was confident because he knew his onions. He presented so well that Pharaoh believed him and made him the second in command in the whole of Egypt. Not a bad position for good public speaking. Moses was raised in the palace with all the luxury and comfort, but he knew he was built for more, and his purpose kept calling him that he killed Egyptian who he felt was in the wrong. He had to flee after such an act. He was in the wilderness when his purpose was revealed to him. But he replied, "Pardon your servant, Lord. I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue." The task he was been called to required him to convince first his people that he was from God and then take God's message to Pharaoh. How can someone who is not eloquent deliver such a task? The Lord told him to go, and he would be taught what to say. When the why is strong enough, the right words, right gesture, right attitude will find you. Joshua was saddled with responsibility of taking the children of Israel to the promised land. To do this, he had to know how to instruct and inspire the people. Luckily for Joshua, he had been mentored. He had been with Moses all through the journey and had learned a thing or two. We see that to be a good presenter, you must have a vivid vision of your dream or goal and practice the skills just like Joseph. We also see that having an impediment in speech is not a hindrance to being a good presenter like Moses. And finally, we see that you need mentorship like Joshua to learn to become a better presenter. After my flop in primary school, I became very scared of presenting and public speaking. But it got to a point where I realized if I must make a difference in this world like I was born to, I must overcome my self-imposed fate of presenting. I discovered my purpose, and since then presenting has been fun for me. If you would like to improve your presenting skills, fill the form in the description box. The Diamond Project seeks to help individuals live out their true potentials and become the ultimate version of themselves through mentorship or training, capacity building. If you are eligible, you will be contacted. Stay blessed. See you next week. Ciao.